What's most important to you when buying windows, siding, or doors? Is it energy savings, cost, quality, or warranty? Window World offers it all by searching Window World today.
Good evening and welcome into the WHKY News. Today is Thursday, August 15th. I'm Ralph Mangum. The WHKY News is on over-the-air TV every weekday on channel 14.2, and we are online at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel. In today's top stories, a Catawba County man has been arrested in connection with a fatal crash in Alexander County earlier this summer. WHKY's Ariana Mack has the details.
A Catawba County man has been charged in connection to a fatal crash. 22-year-old Darian Amadeus Killian of Conover has been arrested by the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. He's charged with felony death by vehicle, driving while impaired, and several additional traffic violations. Killian is charged in connection to a fatal June crash in northern Alexander County. According to information released by Highway Patrol on June 27th at approximately 4:00 p.m., that agency responded to a fatal collision in Alexander County on Wittenberg Road near Perry Fox Lane. A 2014 Ford Explorer was traveling west on Wittenberg Road, crossed the center line, and collided head-on with an eastbound 2017 Nissan Rogue. The driver of the Rogue, 82-year-old Evelyn Mundy Hines of Taylorsville, was critically injured and transported by EMS to an area hospital where she passed away from her injuries on June 29th. The driver of the Explorer, Darian Amadeus Killian, was transported by EMS to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. 2 passengers in the vehicle were treated for minor injuries at the scene. Killian was taken into custody on August 8th and placed in the Alexander County Detention Center. He remained in custody under a secured bond of $200,000. The next court appearance for Killian is listed for September 9th in Taylorsville. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
Thank you, Ariana. District Attorney Scott Riley stopped by our studios for his August update. He sat down with WHKY's Rob Eastwood as they discussed a pair of recent graduations for participants in programs the DA's office is affiliated with.
Joining us on WHKY News, as he does each month, is Scott Riley, the District Attorney for the 36th Prosecutorial District, and that covers Catawba, Burke, and Caldwell counties. Always good to see you.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Rob.
Thanks for coming in, and we have some really good news to start off with. You had a graduation ceremony you want to tell us about.
Right. I was honored and privileged to speak at the Basic Law Enforcement Training graduation ceremony held at CVCC for Catawba County. It's the second time I've had the opportunity to speak at their graduation. One was back in 2020 when we only had 3 graduates. You know, things were all the world was turned upside down then, but I'm pleased that we had 10 graduates at this particular graduation, and there is another class right behind them, and I expect 2 or 3 classes before the year's end. One interesting note is that during 2020, a number of officers had just quit because of the perception towards law enforcement officers. Once you lose your certification, you just can't come back to the police. You have to go through the program again. And in the last 2 graduating classes, we have had former officers that are coming back through the program because they want to be law enforcement officers again.
That's fantastic. That is really good news to hear that.
It's a 20-week program, and it does an excellent job of training law enforcement officers, and I think all of our officers or all of our potential officers already have jobs waiting for them after they graduate.
Even more good news.
Excellent.
That's wonderful. Excellent. Also, the Veterans Treatment Court, this is something we've spoken of, you and I, a lot over the years, and you wanted to give us an update on that.
I wanted to give an update, another graduation. We had our 5th graduation a couple weeks ago. We had 3 graduates went through. It's an 18 to 24 month program. These are veterans who have been identified as all the potential in the world, but are having trouble reintegrating back into civilian society for military life, might have some problems with self-medicating with alcohol or drugs. I wanted to talk about one particular graduate. His name is Shane. He is now 785 days sober, and he has decided to give back more to the community. He is now with high-risk suicide prevention. He has taken a job with Veteran Services, and I am so proud of Shane, who is giving back to his community. I cannot think of a higher calling or a better way to give back to the community.
That's awesome, and I guess this is the type of program where you're going to get stories like that, and you're going to see some real human interest type stories come out of it, and people really getting their lives together. That's wonderful.
Every graduation is uplifting, every graduation is emotional and has stories like that.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, we appreciate your update, and we look forward to, let's hope for more good news next month when we sit down with you.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Scott Riley, the District Attorney for the 36th Prosecutorial District. He visits us each month here on WHKY News.
Thank you, Rob, and as always, we are grateful to Scott Riley for his time today. The City of Lenoir is building a new teaching and learning pavilion at Unity Park and Community Gardens on College Avenue. The pavilion will provide covered space for programs and events at the gardens and will be located beside the garden shed. The pavilion will be 30 feet by 24 feet or 720 square feet. It will include counter space for demonstrations and gardening prep work. The floor of the pavilion will be concrete and the roof will be corrugated metal. There will also be a dedicated restroom for gardeners and visitors. Last year, the state of North Carolina gave the city $125,000 to build the pavilion. Garden coordinator David Horn created a design and Brushy Mountain Builders submitted the lowest bid. Construction can start as early as August 19th and must be finished by the middle of November. The City of Lenoir Council approved the project during a meeting in June. Up next, Rob, Ariana, and I have your crime report. Rob has a child porn arrest to tell you about. Ariana has one suspect arrested as an armed habitual felon and another charged with breaking into a church. I'll chime in with an Iredell County cocaine arrest as well. In local sports, Jason Savage has coverage of the groundbreaking for renovations at Lenoir softball field, plus high school volleyball and the latest from the dads. In Community Focus, Ariana is joined by my good friends Kay and Patrick Crouch as they discuss the Happy Valley Fiddlers Jamboree, and Rob has news from the NCDOT. A beautiful day today with sunny skies and a high in the mid-80s. Mostly sunny tomorrow and just 2 or 3 degrees warmer. A 25% chance of rain over the weekend with a high reaching 90 on Saturday and in the upper 80s Sunday. Mostly in the low to mid 80s next week with a couple of days only in the upper 70s. No more than a 35% chance of rain at any point during the week. You can always find the latest forecast at WHKY.com. I'm Ralph Mangum. You are watching the WHKY News.